Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today I am doing two looks with the Plain Jane and Ninhydrin palettes from Adept Cosmetics. I had a request to do more looks with those palettes, so that's what we're going to do today. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, please consider clicking that subscribe button. I upload twice a week. It's totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you back again on the channel. Alright, let's go ahead and get into look number one. Alright guys, so this first look is going to be using primarily the Plain Jane palette. Here it is if you haven't seen it. I say primarily because this palette is an all shimmer palette. So I use this either one shade all over the lid if I'm going quick, which I'm going kind of quick because I just got out of the shower and getting ready for work. So excuse the undone like damp hair. But usually I want to put a matte down first, so I'm taking the Ninhydrin palette that I'm going to be using with this second look today. And I'm just going to take a little bit of ACM 32, the matte in here. I use it in that look as well on a Morphe M441 and lay that in the crease. I did already use eyeshadow primer. I always use eyeshadow primer, so this isn't anything special I'm doing for this palette. I just have had the experience that eyeshadow primer makes the pigments stand out more, makes my eyeshadow last longer without fading and creasing, so that's why I use it. Okay, so in my first video I did with these palettes, which I'll link that in the cards if you haven't seen it, I did like a green and bronzy kind of look. So today I'm actually going to go for something a little more neutral. There, you can go pretty purple and pink and stuff, but there's also green and a blue. I'm wearing kind of like an army green top today, so, and I already did green with my last video, so like I said, I'm just gonna go something a little more neutral. So I'm gonna take ACI 1, this one right here, and I'm gonna lay that down on the outer part of the lid, just because this one's a little bit deeper of a shimmer is why I'm choosing to place it out here. I'm doing this with an Ace Beaute P3 brush if you're curious at all. And then I'm going to keep this one simple and just do two colors. So on the rest of it I'm going to go with ACI 5 over here, this shade. It'll end up looking a little something like this. I always like to take the brush and kind of feather out the edges in the crease here. I just think it makes it look a bit more seamless than if you just have a harsh line, unless you're going for more of a defined cut crease or half cut crease, then of course you might want to have that more defined line there. So the first one's more of a like deeper bronze, borderline like copper shade. The second one in the inner corner section, half, whatever you want to call it, is more of a champagne to a pink shift, but they definitely are shifty shades. So this is a little bit of a simpler, easy look if you're trying to get out the door like I am right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do liner and lashes and all that, and I'll show you the final look. Alright guys, and here is the first finished look using honestly just two shades from the Plain Jane palette. So yeah, I just added, like I said, liner, lash, lip. So let's go ahead and get into the second video featuring mostly the Ninhydrin palette. Alright guys, so I'm going in with the Ninhydrin palette. And I'm going to use my Ace Beaute P1 brush and go into ACM 32. There's only two mattes in this palette, so feel free to use this as a companion palette. Pull out something else that makes sense to go with it. Don't feel like you have to be limited just this palette if you are somebody that likes to use some mattes in your looks and not just purely shimmers. I know I'm like that. You'll see that in the Plain Jane palette that I pull a little something, just because, like I said, that's my personal preference. I'm going to go ahead and run what's left underneath the eye as well. So last time I focused on more of like the pinky shades. I'm going to do some of the more like bluey purpley shades today. And I've learned with this formula that with me, like I have oily eyelids, so I have this formula last better, like I have more luck with it lasting, not creasing, if I actually don't use glitter primer. So I am just going straight in with the shade on my eye. I'm using my Laura Lee Los Angeles L27 brush, and this is the shade ACI 21. And this is a really deep shimmer, so I'm kind of laying it at a diagonal just because for my eye shape, I find when I lay shimmers at a diagonal like that, it can help give it like a lifted effect and kind of more of the eye shape that I prefer or like on my personal eye shape. I'm taking that all the way up to the crease as well, just kind of like feathering or blending it out on the edge. These do work really well with your fingertips as well to get the shiny, sparkly impact. But with how deep of a blue pigment base this has mixed in, I just want to keep my hands clean. I'm going to go with the other side of the brush, and I'm going to go in with ACI 20 right next to it. So I use that, and I'm going to use this one. And I'm just going to use this as kind of like a transition shade because I'm going to put the lightest kind of purpley blue shimmer in the front part of the eye. But this one I feel like is going to be a nice mid-tone, like I said, just kind of transition shade to get us from that deepest blue to more of a lighter blue to purple flip. And then you'll either have to clean off that brush or find another flat brush, which I have another flat brush I'm going to use. I'm going to go in with the Morphe M124, and I'm going to go in with ACI 24 over here. And that one's going in the frontmost part of the look. And then I'm just going to go back and take that first brush and kind of run it through with some more of ACM 32 in the crease just to make sure everything's nice and blended up here. This is definitely more of a bold look, but I feel like it went pretty tame with my last videos, so I wanted to kind of show what you could do if you like really took it there in this one. So I still, between these two videos, haven't used all the shades on camera of the Ninhydrin palette. There's still a lot of purples and some greens that I could play with. So once again, if you are interested in seeing more of this palette, let me know in the comments down below. I can always film more, but I did have a request to make just a couple looks with this one and the Plain Jane. So that's where I'm coming from with this. I'm going to finish up with liner, lashes, lips, you know, the rest of the works, and I'll be back to show you the final look. Alright guys, and here is the first look all completed. I really like how it came out. It is dramatic, but I don't feel like it's like daytime unwearable. I'm going to watch Wes race today, so yeah, I think this will be a fun little track look for the day. And that is all for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you give it a thumbs up again if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and of course, as always, feel free to leave me more requests. Hope to see you again on the next one. Bye!